I've been to do this video for a while now. Let's go, baby.
Do you think men can give birth?
I think that...
yes or no question?
I think that a person who is assigned male at birth, I don't think they
assigned male at birth, so people are not male at birth?
I think that a person...
See, your evidence that college is a scam, my friend.
So what do you say in some cases women with IUDs are murderers?
Of course not, they're not murderers.
So what's the difference between an IUD killing a conceived zygote and like a mother going to Planned Parenthood and killing the fetus in her womb?
That was actually the best point somebody made.
It's not about the cells. It's not about... No, I'm speaking.
This girl, everybody needs to run away. If this is your girlfriend, dog, be careful. Be careful.
Speaking. I'm speaking.
Hello, everyone. I am Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, and I am surrounded by 20 woke college kids.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't watch at 1.5 speed since a lot of y'all are normies.
My first prompt is, abortion is murder and should be illegal.
I will say this about this point of abortion should be illegal. I guess I kind of have to agree in that sense, because if that was the case, then it would make a lot of females and males, they would take better decisions about the kind of people that they're getting themselves into relationships with. But I know then someone's going to argue that it's not always somebody's fault. Maybe they got essayed, maybe they got, raped. So it's really one of those touchy subjects. But I guess at the end of the day, women should still definitely have that decision to decide what they want to do and if they are the ones that want to do it. But I think if it does become illegal, then you just kind of have to look at it and it's like, okay, well, who are you allowing to enter your body? Who are you allowing to enter your soul? Like, who are these partners that you're choosing as females? If this was the case, females, I guess the quality of men that they would allow to, kind of partner themselves up with and get in bed with would change drastically. But there would still be those cases where, like I said, you look at essayed or grape. So if those 2 points right there was the reason why she had a baby, then I guess you'd have to be lenient towards that point. But then if you're lenient towards that point, then it kind of defeats the other purpose of the partner. So realistically, this point is really tough to argue. And I will say this, I hate the way they run towards the chair. Come on, Jubilee. Come on, find a different way. Maybe a button. Who pressed the button first? On come on.
All right.
Can I maybe?
Okay, hello, what's your name?
Juliana.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What we just saw there was a case of pretty privilege.
Can we get our terms right first?
Yeah.
Okay, abortion is the forcible ending of the viability of a being in utero, otherwise known as a fetus. Do we agree that's what abortion is?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, great. And then murder is the intentional taking of life, different than killing or sudden death. So murder would be the intent with intent taking another life. Do we agree with that?
Okay.
Okay, and then we agree that murder in general in society should be illegal.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So yeah, no, I do want to preface that I'm a Catholic. So I think one really important thing that the Bible says is to not judge. And just going back to the topic, I think there's a big difference between, cells in utero than a living, breathing, existing being. And while I do believe it's murder, and that's just my personal belief, right? I don't believe in telling people what to do with their bodies. That's not up to me, and it's not up to us as well as Christians to judge.
Should we prevent murder in society?
For sure, yeah.
It should be illegal.
But I think that it's really different, right? Because, these people aren't...
Get out of here, dog!
Sorry, nice to meet you.
Press the button!
Okay, what's your name?
Naima.
This girl has so much sass. So much sass, dude. A lot of y'all really show your true colors on this, man. I would hate to date some of you shorties on this show, dog.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, can I just ask, at how many weeks do you think that a fetus is viable?
Well, viability and moral worth are two different things.
No, but I'm asking you, at how many weeks do you think a fetus is viable?
Well, at about 20 weeks, a baby can survive outside of utero.
So it's actually 24 to 26 weeks?
Well, it's 20. The youngest ever in a NICU unit actually happened in San Diego, not far from here, and survived at 20 weeks.
Okay, so under Roe v. Wade, 93% of abortions happened in the first 13 weeks of pregnancy. That's 93% of the abortions happened well before a fetus is technically viable as a form of life.
So let's go into viability. So what is it about, let's say, a 6-week baby that has a heartbeat, its own DNA, fingerprint, brainwaves, that is less moral worth than an 88-year-old right now with dementia in a home down the street? That person requires assistance, requires help. Why is it that the 6-week baby is of less moral worth?
Well, first of all, it's not a baby, it's a fetus.
Well, what does fetus mean?
A fetus is in utero.
What does fetus mean in Latin?
What the f? I'm sorry, is this a language class?
It means little human being.
Ooh, his smile is very creepy. Okay.
Smiling is creepy?
No, your smile specifically.
Got it.
But let's go back to, we're losing track here.
See what I was saying? Always the personal attacks with women. They can never make a valid point. They have to start attacking you personally. You're about your physique. Who cares about Charlie Kirk's weird smile from Home Alone? That's how he smiles, dog. Come on. Let's get back to the facts.
No, but what species is the fetus?
The fetus is not a species yet. It's technically classified as a parasite
No.
until it is viable.
So,
now, I want to talk to you about something very quickly.
I can't get past that. Are you
I'm sorry.
saying a baby is a disease or a tumor?
A parasite is not a disease and a tumor. Those are not the same thing. A parasite
parasite.
is defined as something that cannot survive outside of its host. A baby, before it is viable, cannot survive outside of a woman's womb.
Got it. So let's extrapolate that.
It is not a living organism.
Are old people with Alzheimer's and dementia that are being assisted every day, are they parasites?
No, they're not parasites. They're human beings who are on the brink of death.
Got it. So
Yes, but they can't survive without their host, which is the point that she's trying to make here, which is not landing. Sorry, lady. Get out of here.
They're not going to be able to survive.
4-month-old that requires mom's breast milk and requires daily changes and feedings cannot survive without its own. Is my 4-month-old a parasite?
Your baby can breathe on its own. Your baby can drink water from its mouth to its stomach.
But it cannot.
Your baby can
Can
eat
it hunt?
food.
Can it gather? Can it reason?
But that's not what qualifies something as being a
Okay, so
living
let's
organism.
get
Being a
back
living
to
organism
terms.
simply means, can you survive outside of a womb, outside of your host?
Got it. So I just want to make sure I'm clear. Why does that then equate to moral viability?
It equates to scientific viability.
Why? Under what standard?
Because it is not alive, and you are advocating for the rights of something that is not technically a life,
Got it. So what is it something
while
that has
sacrificing the needs of the human woman who is alive.
Got it. So, but a mom can survive
Yes.
without the baby in her,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yes.
The baby cannot survive without the mom.
Yes.
But a mom cannot survive without her lungs. So it's not her body, it's in her body. It's not
Yeah,
her
I
DNA,
know.
so it's not her choice. So it's a
It actually is directly
Get out of here.
her DNA.
it's
It is 100%. It's 50% of her DNA.
half her DNA. He's gonna win, I'm telling you. This could take a while.
Okay, first of all,
Do we have our terms correct? We agree?
Actually, no. So first of
Okay,
all,
got
I
it.
would like to refine our terms. I
Got
have
it.
2 points to bring up after that, though. So you define murder as like intentionally like killing a human being.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a very poor way to define murder, because if someone were to like break into my home and point a gun at the heads of me and everybody I love, and I intentionally kill them to prevent them from killing my family, I don't think I murdered them, right? So I would define murder as the unjustified termination of a human life.
You're making a good point. Let me further clarify that. So self-defense is very warranted.
Exactly, right?
But I can see where you're going to go with how that has to go with abortion, but we can go down that journey in a second.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I kind of do want to give you my argument insofar as why I'm pro-choice, why I think it's justified.
Mm-hmm.
But first, I think that, your position is quite absurd, right? Because you're saying that it is murder to kill a human being, right, at any point in development, especially when it's in the mother's womb. My question to you would be, well, does this make women with IUDs murderers? Because it is the case that in some scenarios, an IUD will allow for conception to occur, meaning there's a unique human life there, but it will prevent its implantation, intentionally killing it.
Well, no, preventing implantation is not necessarily the same thing as terminating a fertilized egg. For example, if you take Plan B, again,
I will say this. I do like this point that he made about the murder thing and how it's unjustified is what we should call murder. I think that was a good point change, because it is true what you said about the self-defense thing. So changing the terms to this thing about being unjustified, it kind of adds a little bit more poignancy to this whole thing.
it's not the same thing. Preventing the production of progesterone is not the same thing as terminating a being that has been fertilized. You do not know for a fact that the egg has been fertilized. You do not know that when you have an IUD.
Okay, yeah,
Do you?
so preventing fertilization or implantation to the uterine lining is killing a conceived zygote. So what happens? A sperm goes into the egg, right? The egg becomes fertilized. It's a conceived zygote. In some cases, it will prevent the implantation of the conceived zygote, killing the conceived zygote.
In some cases, correct.
So what do you say in some cases, women with IUDs are murderers?
Of course not. They're not murderers. We do not know for a case. That's like saying that.
So what's the
everyone
difference between an IUD killing a conceived zygote and like a mother going to Planned Parenthood and killing the fetus in her womb?
Well, so you.
This guy's doing some heavy points out here with the zygote thing, bro. Damn. This young man is cooking Kirk right now. I have to say, dude, this young man is cooking Charlie right now, dog.
You're asking two separate things. If they knew for certain, to be more clear, that I have a fertilized egg and I'm going to take a drug to prevent that fertilized egg from attaching to their uterine wall, then yes, that is an act of killing or murder, of course.
Okay, so
But
do you think
you
all
don't-
murderers should go to jail?
Do I think all murderers should go to jail? I mean, on third degree murder. However, no, I don't think women that got abortions or had IUDs should go to jail, because I think that they have been deceived by mass culture and mass propaganda. Secondly,
Yes.
the people who should go to jail are the abortionists, who are the ones that have been putting the abortion pill, the ones that have been doing procedures, the ones that have been going into the third trimester and breaking babies' backs and inserting them with syringes while the babies are crying and suffocating, being born alive, and then being dead on the operating table. That is who should go to jail.
Damn, why did they get this guy out of here, dude? He was actually cooking. And I'm pretty sure he's going to cook more than the rest of y'all can cook, because y'all ain't chefs like this young man. I see him in a couple other ones, and also he was one to lead the debate. I think it was like one of those Jubilee videos about Democrats or whatever. This young man, smart.
Oh,
They're going to replace him with somebody stupid.
we'll have to talk
I know.
about it.
Okay, whenever I'm talking about this discussion, I always go to...
Shorty's wearing flats. You're wearing flats. You're gonna make a discussion wearing flats. Ah, my fashion heart is hurting.
The question of what about in the case of the mother when her life is in danger? Because I'm a big believer. I don't know. I'm still iffy on if I think it's or if it's murder or not. But even so, I mean, I don't want to say murder is justified. Guys, wait, let me just one point, and then you can vote me out. Give me 1 second. Say the mother gets pregnant and she knows that if she gives birth, she's going to die. She has some kind of health complication. Then what do you do in that case?
Section.
I don't know what that means.
It's a C-section.
They do an insert. Guys, wait, hold on. Give me one.
God damn, dog. They are cooking her. You don't know what a C-section is. You don't know if it's murder or not. Holy cow. I told you, don't trust a girl that wears flats. Don't do it. Don't do it. She's got bad fashion sense, which is what? A reflection of her internal mind. That means her mind is cooked.
They go right below the belly button and they deliver the baby, and after she doesn't have to give birth. It's technically birth, but it's much safer. So that's actually safer than an abortion procedure.
But the thing about C-sections, which is not good, is that the baby is not going through the vagina, which is not getting the vaginal fluids and vaginal bacteria that is needed from the mother. It's very important that babies go through the vaginal canal to get birth. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if babies do go through the vaginal canal, but whatever canal it is that allows the baby to be birthed, it's important that the baby goes through there and is able to absorb some of the microbes that is inside the vagina. It's important for that. That is important. Tell me if I'm wrong. You can leave a comment, but it's important.
Sorry, Lily.
Lily's out of there.
Hello, how are you?
Hi.
What's your name?
Deedon.
Nice to
meet you. I would say with abortion, I think it's very complicated, but I think the issue that I have primarily with your stance of being pro-life, that there's no nuance. There's women who are being forced to travel hundreds of miles to access abortion care, even in cases of rape in certain states that they're not giving any sort of allowance for that. Oof. And I think, a lot of people who are pro-life, they say that they're pro-life, but I feel like they're really pro-birth because with firearms, the United States has some of the highest firearm deaths out of OECD nations, right? And we can acknowledge that that's for children who are actually living and breathing. So I feel like abortion, while it is, I can definitely see your point. I just think that it should be allowed in some circumstances. Okay. Yeah.
Great. I'm happy to get into the gun violence stuff later, but I want to really stay focused on abortion. Right. You can say you see my point. Can you see the world also where, since we know it's a human life, that it should be illegal since we don't allow murder in our society?
Well, that's where I have an issue because abortion is not being done willy-nilly. It's like the life of the mother is always.
How many abortions do you think we have every day in America? Just guess.
I'm not sure.
Guess.
I'm honestly not sure. Maybe, I don't know, 1,000?
4,000 a day. So it is kind of willy-nilly. We have 1.6.
4,000 a day. God damn. Let's do the math really quick. Let's nerd out. You go 4,000 abortions times 365. Jesus Christ. That's 1.46 million uteros and zygotes and cells dying. Now, how many of those are chalked up to bad decisions? How many of those are chalked up to rape? How many of those are chalked up to sexual assault? Holy cow. This topic, I think, is beyond my comprehension, dude.
Sorry. Hello.
Hi. I just want to clarify, the thing that you're aiming for is less abortion, right? That would be what you would want, or at least no abortion.
Eventually. It's also a protection of those that can't protect themselves. But yes, and that's why after the reversal of Roe versus Wade, we saw abortions go down dramatically in Texas, Alabama, Mississippi. We saw thousands of babies that are now alive and well that are able to have amazing lives thanks to the reversal of Roe versus Wade.
I don't think a lot of that is true.
Well,
it is true.
It's not true because when you make abortion illegal, it doesn't actually decrease the amount of abortions that happen.
That's a nice talking point. In Texas, the numbers show differently. The birth rate has gone up.
Yeah, legal goes down, but illegal abortions still happen. Abortions still happen outside of whatever data you're showing.
That's not true, but let's just say well, if you want to, well, first of all, you count the abortion pill, you're right, but that's a separate thing than a chemical abortion and surgical abortion are different things. And I'm not debating you. I'm debating her. So if you want to do the flags and come back in, try and be faster next time. So let me ask you this. So the question is, we should try to limit unjust suffering of human beings, right?
Sure.
Okay, that's my position, is that there's unjust suffering of anywhere between 1.4 to 1.6 million abortions a year of human beings that are being massacred in the womb. And so that's not a woman's rights issue, that's not a men's rights issue, that's just a human rights issue.
Okay, the best way to decrease abortions happening is proper sex education. Limiting abortion and making abortion illegal does not actually decrease the amount of abortions that happen.
So what is your evidence of that?
What is my evidence of that?
Because we have increased sex education in the last 30 years.
Our sex education is so bad in America.
Well, not by bad. What do you mean by that? We have more access to virtual.
Sexual education is terrible right now, dude. Some schools actually don't even have it. Some schools actually don't have sex ed. The most of the time you get all your sex ed is from the people on OF trying to tell you do this, do that, be an OF model, and like, no. The majority of people are not wrapping it up. They're not wrapping it up. They're going in raw. So this also contributes to the problem of these abortions, dog. It's like the sex education is terrible, bro. And I think really what it comes down to is just feeling, bro. People are stimulus addicts, bro. People are addicted to stimulus. The stimulus of going in raw and busting right inside? Come on, man. Can't fight human biology, dude.
Birth control for young kids. We have more kids that are learning to use birth control at a younger age. We have more of that in our public school system. And we've seen all the trends actually go in a negative direction. So, in fact, we see that the more sex education there is, the more disturbing those trends are. So you say that, let me ask you just one more thing. You say that if we make abortion illegal, people will still do it. Should we then just make gang violence legal because
no, I'm saying if you actually wanted to decrease the amount of abortions that happen, you wouldn't be advocating for to make abortion illegal. You'd be advocating for all of these other things.
Does that logic apply to stealing, looting, kidnapping, arson, and murder?
Well, actually it does, because those are results of different societal issues that you should be educating yourself on rather than making it illegal up front.
Should we make kidnapping, arson, burglary, murder legal because they're symptoms of something else?
We should be helping society heal from those things.
You gotta answer the question. We want less of those things. Should we just make them legal and we'll get less looting?
Actually, I'm gonna let someone else.
Thank you very much. Hi, Parker. Nice to meet you. Yes.
Nice to meet you, Charlie.
Big TikTok guy here.
So, pedophiles, people who were married to children in the past and normalized in that society, should they go to prison?
Should pedophiles?
Like, if you could go back in time, would you put those pedophiles in prison that married those children because it was normalized? They were deceived into thinking it's okay. Would you put them in prison?
You have to slow down.
Sorry.
Pedophiles should get the death penalty.
No. So you'd go back in the past, you give them the death penalty, even though they were deceived into thinking it was okay. But you said people who get
who's deceiving a pedo into thinking it's okay to touch children, dude? That's crazy. That's a wild thought, dude. This guy's reaching. Charlie, you're reaching. Go back on the TikTok with the brain rot, buddy.
Abortions for women should be in prison.
But it's not currently legal.
Okay, regardless. At that time, it wasn't.
No, I would not go back and retroactively enforce laws where things were currently not illegal.
You wouldn't put pedophiles in prison in the past.
Hold on a second. When was it illegal? When was it legal in America?
Well, child marriage was legal in America throughout the early 1900s, and especially throughout most of society for thousands of years, especially in the Old Testament and in the Bible.
Hold on a second. So where's the Levitical law that allows you to marry a child?
Oh, yeah.
Can you name the verse?
Well, I can't name the verse, but the particular conditions that are listed in the Bible are that you have to be physical maturity and emotional maturity, which is extremely vague and throughout society has been seen to be met at puberty.
There is not a verse, but let's kind of go back.
Okay, so when is the age of consent under your view?
Let's go back. Well, generally agreed.
Dude, you're reaching. He's Jack reaching right now, dude. Somebody call Jack Reacher.
Upon is 18 years old. But let me ask you.
But you, because you don't go based on what's generally agreed. You go based on the Bible.
I say 18 years old. But let me ask you a question.
Where's that in the Bible?
When does life begin?
Conception.
Like conception, great. So good. So should we protect all life at conception?
I care about sentient life, not cellular life.
So when do brainwaves start?
Do you think brain dead people should be able to pull the plug on, like a family should be able to pull the plug on an individual family that's brain dead?
You got to answer the question. When do brainwaves start?
You can see brainwaves around 6 to 8 weeks, which in brain dead individual there are brainwaves as well. So the brainwaves necessary to produce a subjective experience aren't met until around 18 to 26 weeks in the womb.
Can you see it from my perspective that at 6 to 8 weeks those brainwaves will actually increase, not decrease, if allowed the process of development to continue?
Did you know those same EEG scans exist in brain dead people that you don't think are sentient?
No, but the difference with the brain dead people is that the likelihood of those brainwaves actually increasing is very low at 6 to 8 weeks, when by 15 weeks they can hear the mom's voice.
It's irreversible sensation. That's what brain death is. I
hold on,
really didn't know that.
But no,
it's not coma.
But you're doing a red herring. Go back to 6.
No, it's not. What's a red herring?
A red herring is where you avoid the topic and you say something that is adjacent or symmetrical to what I'm saying, but not actually what I'm saying.
You mean a reductio ad absurdum? That's not a red herring.
A 6 to 8 week.
Essentially, a red herring is moving the goalpost, dog. That's what he's doing right now.
If they're allowed to continue to develop, what ends up happening?
At a certain point, it will become a sentient being in the future. The same way that if I keep engaging in sex with my girlfriend, it'll be a baby in the future. Yet I don't care about the
unless
sperm.
you're infertile, which we don't know. But let's see the process of development. Right? Why
do you want to answer my question yet?
Why do you have the ability or the right?
Should those child P3Os go to prison?
The process of
should the pedophiles go to prison?
From 1904. How many pedophiles are alive from 1904?
They're not alive, right? I meant like if you can go back in the past, hypothetically speaking, and you could put them in prison. Would you put them in prison?
I would kill them myself if I was alive.
Okay, so then you don't apply it based upon what people are deceived to believe. You apply it based on what you consider to be moral. So the women who had abortions, you think they should go to prison. So why should women who get abortions go to prison? But someone like my mom who told me that Santa Claus exists shouldn't go to prison.
This is not going to be a constructive debate if you keep on talking over me.
Well, I was finishing my statement. You were talking over me. Go for it.
Let me ask you a very simple question. Do you think it would be a good thing if we had less abortions in America?
It depends on the context. Like, are the abortions prior to sentience?
Yes,
because
all abortions.
No, it would not be necessarily
are
better
you against
unless it is
late-term
the case
abortion?
that the people didn't want the abortions and it would be negatively impactful to their health medically speaking.
Are you against late-term abortion?
After sentience, yes.
Okay, so you believe in an 8-week abortion ban?
Yeah. No, I don't. Sorry, I believe in an abortion ban after 18 through 26 weeks.
Okay, that's a more reasonable position. I have to give you credit for that.
It's similar to Trump's 15 weeks.
Yeah. So why do you think that most people don't share your view on that?
Well, people just don't really know what sentience is. There's not a lot of conversation about abortion, and these conversations are very difficult. Like they're conceptually hard to go through, and I understand why a lot of people don't understand their positions on it. But I think people
you are where most
you're cutting me off.
Americans
I thought we weren't cutting people off.
I was actually complimenting us.
Get him out of here. It's the last one. Oh, she finally did it. I'm good. This is the last one.
So I just have one question. There's like in any case, you don't think there's any case where abortion should be legal?
There's a very, very rare couple cases.
Okay, so you do think that a couple cases it is legal?
If cesarean section is not going to save the mother's life, and the mother's life is actually at risk, which is debated amongst growing numbers of OBGYNs, that is the only case where abortion should be allowed.
Do you think there should...
But people say it is a growing consensus in the pro-life world that abortion is never medically necessary.
Okay, so if you had a daughter and she was 10 and she got raped, and she was going to give birth, and she would and she was going to give birth and she was going to live. Would you want her to go through that and carry her baby?
That's awfully graphic.
But it's a real life scenario that happens to many people.
The answer is yes. The baby would be delivered.
Oh, okay, great. So that's insane.
But let me tell you why. No, hold on. Let me ask you a question. There's 2 ultrasounds I have. One is a baby conceived in. One is a baby conceived by a loving couple. Which one is which?
Your daughter was probably hopefully conceived by a somewhat loving couple.
Which person here was conceived by? Tell me which one was conceived by.
You don't know.
Exactly, because it's all human rights and it's all human beings.
But that doesn't matter. It's about your daughter who has to give birth to it and is going to be tortured by that for the rest of her life. That's going to take away every freedom she's.
This is the point I was trying to make earlier about the grape thing, dude. You know what I mean? People out here graping people. You can't do that, dude. That's wild.
Ever gonna have that's gonna ruin her life. She's gonna grow up and she's gonna be attached to another thing.
The point is how you were conceived is irrelevant. What human rights you get. But hold on one second. If a person conceived in walks on the side of the street, it's not like they don't get First Amendment rights or Second Amendment rights.
It's not about that person.
The worst thing to do to the daughter is to then say, "Hey, we're gonna go murder the being inside of you."
They wouldn't even know. Like, listen.
They wouldn't know.
Listen.
But wouldn't it be a better story to say something evil happened and we do something good in the face of evil instead of saying we're going to do evil and then murder the being because we're going to pander to the evil? No. What makes the West great is that we do good after evil, not evil after evil.
It's not about the being in the cell. No, I'm speaking. No, I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
Got it.
Thank you. So it's not, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the person. I'm talking about the person who is dealing with the pregnancy. I am not talking